Next on Worcester News tonight, the clue helping lead investigators to a second suspect in the theft of weapons from an Army Reserve Center. And the city's tax rates aren't set just yet. We give you the latest details next. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. The decision on the city's tax classification is held for another week. The decision to hold the proposal was from City Councilor Tony Economou, who wanted more time for the council to look over the averages for both the residential and the commercial sides. The vote to hold the decision passed 7-4. The question moving forward is how much the residential and commercial tax rates in the city will rise and how it will impact each side moving forward.
Highest tax rate of all the communities in central Massachusetts on businesses, so that hurts our ability to bring in new businesses or encourage businesses to grow. So the most important thing for our residents is jobs, and by having a competitive tax rate, we create a more business-friendly environment that creates jobs.
Sometimes it's hard. I mean, you know, if you've principled about whether or not you think the residential or commercial side should be paying more, it's hard to split it down the middle because you wind up upsetting both sides. At the same time, you know, compromise is a good thing.
The most important thing is trying to find a way to send the message to small business and large businesses that Worcester is a friendly place to start a business and to develop a business and to grow.
Police in Worcester are investigating a serious accident tonight. It happened just after 6:30 this evening. Here's a photo sent to us of the scene. You can see major damage to 2 cars. Police tell us 3 cars were involved. It happened near Rice Square in the Grafton Hill neighborhood. There are reports of injuries, but conditions are not known at this point. Police are investigating the cause. The roadway was shut down for some time as an accident reconstruction team was on scene. We first told you last night about a second arrest made in connection to the weapons stolen from a Worcester Army Reserve Center. Tonight, we're learning more about the clues investigators followed to make the arrest and to recover one of the missing guns. Our Olivia Lemon has the details.
These pictures of 2 stolen guns led investigators to a suspect. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Ashley Bigsby was arrested Friday in Dorchester. She is charged with illegally possessing a machine gun and making false statements. Federal investigators say a search warrant was issued for this Page Street home in Dorchester where Bigsby lives.
It seems they're doing their work then. And yeah, it's a bit safer now if, you know, they have getting into it, better than not doing anything at all.
Bigsby's arrest led to the recovery of the last missing M4 assault rifle. It has some people around Worcester feeling more safe, but still wondering how many more people may be involved in the theft.
We need to feel safe out here. I mean, those weapons out there, God only knows what could happen and how many lives could be lost.
34-year-old James Morales was arrested last month in connection to the theft of 16 weapons from the Lincoln Stoddard Army Reserve Center. The FBI says 6 pistols are still missing. They're offering a $15,000 reward for information to help them recover the remaining guns.
I hope for all of our sakes that they're recovered soon and that no one is harmed before they're recovered.
6 weapons on the street. I know it's a bit unsafe, but I know the FBI, once the FBI have joined this situation, is going to get better, you know, to recover whatever that is on the streets now.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police find a 27-year-old man with stab wounds early Tuesday morning. Police say the victim was apparently chased to the area of King and Main Streets before being stabbed multiple times. The motive is unclear, but police say the victim knew his attackers. They were in a green Honda. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Worcester police are also now investigating an armed robbery at a CVS pharmacy. It happened on Park Ave Tuesday morning. According to witnesses, a man entered the store wearing a ski mask, showed a knife, and demanded money from a clerk. No one was injured, but police say the suspect got away with an undetermined amount of cash. The suspect is described as a white man about 6 feet tall and thin. Worcester hasn't seen any noticeable snow yet this year, but today a winter parking ban goes into effect in the city. It's a sign of the season. Our Patricia Nicholas has the information residents need to know.
It's that time of year again. Signs are posted on city streets. As of today, until April of 2016, a parking ban has been put in place.
The ban's in place so we can get the streets safe as quick as possible, and We went to the declared ban to minimize the impact on the public.
The bans fall under two categories, permanent and declared. The permanent means there is no parking on one or both sides of a road between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., while the declared ban goes into effect during winter storms and prohibits most street parking while the snow falls. Residents' opinions on the bans are split.
I think it's a good idea so that they do that because, you know, it can cause accidents. Even when there isn't snow on the ground, people backing up into the street and just causes a whole bunch of issues.
It's not snowing and the people have to park all in different spots, which is going to cause more chaos. So it's just going to cause problems. I don't think it should start right now.
Cars can be ticketed or even towed if they are in violation of the parking bans. The Department of Public Works says residents can find out where they can legally park on their website.
Please cooperate. Yeah. That's really the thing. If people cooperate, it makes it easy for us and it makes it easy for them because we don't want to tow their car. We really don't.
And that was our Patricia Nicholas reporting. HIV and AIDS remain a challenge to global public health, affecting 37 million people. And on this World AIDS Day, researchers are marking the significant advances in treatment and prevention since the disease was discovered back in 1984. According to the United Nations, more than 15 million people are now on HIV therapies. Estimates show now new HIV infections have fallen by 35% since the peak of the pandemic back in 2000. AIDS Project Worcester celebrated World AIDS Day with a presentation at Clark University this evening. They say the strides made over the last few years is remarkable.
Something no one wanted to acknowledge is the stigma and the shame associated with it. But today, we could say people are actually living with HIV. It's a chronic, manageable disease if you're in the proper care with a specialist.
Well, many of you may have taken part in Black Friday or Cyber Monday, but there's another movement on social media called Giving Tuesday. It's obviously today, and it's called a day for giving thanks by giving back to nonprofits and charitable organizations. It's actually the 4th year of Giving Tuesday here in Worcester. Several organizations like the American Red Cross and the Boys and Girls Club are participating. Both say donations made today can go a long way to helping people in our community.
Tuesday is a time where we hope people will think about the American Red Cross and their giving. I joke a bit. The only 3 things the Red Cross asks of people is to give time, money, and blood.
People certainly are welcome to give on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday also. We really need the support, and whatever people can do can make a huge difference.
Giving Tuesday falls on the Tuesday following Thanksgiving. The Syrian refugee crisis was a big part of a symposium held at Worcester State University Tuesday. Students and faculty got a chance to try to understand what life is like for a refugee. Our Andy Madison has the story.
Hayam Francis came to America from Syria 17 years ago. Other members of her family are still there.
My sister was detained in 2011 during the Syrian revolution because she was participating in a peaceful demonstration.
She knows the difficulty some Syrians face in their country.
Syrian refugees are fleeing because of ISIS and because of our dictatorship, al-Assad. So Syrians now have two enemies, the dictatorship and ISIS.
Iraqis, men and women.
At a symposium on Tuesday, students and faculty at Worcester State University explored what life as a refugee is like.
Not only do we need to reconceptualize the legal framework, the economic commitment, and the political will to help in times of humanitarian crisis, but we also need to rethink the very terms of humanitarianism. Who is being helped? Who is the helper?
Since the Paris attacks, Governor Charlie Baker was among those who expressed concern about bringing Syrian refugees to Massachusetts. Others, like Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, say it could open the door for ISIS in the U.S.
Conditions have changed globally in the last 65 years.
Those we spoke with at the symposium say Syrian refugees need our help.
It's time we come together and figure this out. I don't think we should just be looking for one source. Everybody needs to be active. Everybody needs to be engaged.
We should treat them as refugees and call our country to treat them right.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
We're learning a woman from Southbridge has been charged in an alleged scheme to steal thousands from Mohegan's son. According to the Telegram, police say Marlena Rivera has been charged with first-degree larceny and has not yet entered a plea in the case. A dealer believed to be working with her, Roy Mariano, has also been charged, but he's pled not guilty. Police say there's surveillance video showing Mariano slipping Rivera an extra $100 in chips for winning at blackjack at Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. According to the Day newspaper of New London, police say more than $78,000 was stolen over 16 different gambling sessions back in August. Both Mariano and Rivera are free on bond while their cases are pending. Today, some of the people who knew Philip Chism the best took the stand. The Danvers teen is accused of raping and murdering his then high school math teacher. Chris Emma has those details and what's next in the trial.
Philip Chism with his head down in court Tuesday morning, not looking at the 8 witnesses called to the stand as his lawyers mount their insanity defense. Most of those witnesses, friends, classmates, people who knew Chism the best, describing his past behavior.
For a while, it was really hateful to watch how Philip treated his mother.
There was a time where my husband addressed it with him that if he was going to stay around and come around, that he had to be respectful to her.
Chism's team also established that mental illness runs in his family, grandmother and aunt both diagnosed.
In your life with Joyce after returning to the United States, did she continue to have psychiatric hospitalizations?
Yes, she did.
Former classmates from Danvers High testified that Chism was a happy kid when they first met him after his move to Massachusetts.
How would you describe how he was with you?
He was nice.
Was he friendly?
Yeah, he was a friendly person.
He talked a lot about wanting to pursue his dream about being on the varsity team and furthering that potentially through college, and he seemed very happy about playing the sport.
But they said in the weeks leading up to Colleen Richards' rape and murder, Chism's attitude changed.
He didn't really talk to us or anyone, and he would just draw and listen to music mainly, kind of just kept to himself.
I thought it was strange. I knew him as a very excited person, very outgoing, talking to us a lot, getting to know us, and then all of a sudden he just got quiet and changed completely.
Chris Emma for Worcester News Tonight.
Lawyers for convicted marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev were back in court arguing for a new trial. Tsarnaev's attorneys cite a recent Supreme Court ruling which struck down a law calling for tougher penalties for using an explosive in a violent crime. They say that ruling calls into question half the counts against Tsarnaev. The judge also heard a request from prosecutors to order Tsarnaev to pay an undisclosed amount of restitution to victims. The marathon bomber was not in court today. He's in a Colorado federal